The world's happiest country. Yes, the world's happiest country has managed to keep its #1 ranking for 8 years in a row, folks. 8 years in a row. The same country. Okay? Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a second. It is not the United States. It is Finland. Yes, Finland is the happiest country in the world for the 8th consecutive year. Yes, it is. Finland once again tops the World Happiness Report's ranking. And I'm sure you're asking, where do we in the United States rank? We're number 24. Yes, the richest, most powerful country in the history of the world is all the way down at number 24. Our lowest ranking yet in the 2025 report. The 13th edition of the annual report marks the United Nations International Day of Happiness on March 20. In the United States and parts of Europe, declining happiness and social trust have contributed to the rise of political polarization and votes against the system. It's almost like we keep telling y'all that this system in the richest country, a lot of these rich countries are corrupt. That's literally what this show is about. The report draws on the Gallup World Poll data from people in more than 140 countries. Countries are ranked on happiness based on their average life evaluations over 3 preceding years, in this case between 2022 and 2024. The report is a partnership of Gallup, the Oxford Wellbeing Research Center, and the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network and editorial board. Now, in this survey, each participant was asked to score their life as a whole, and rankings are based on those life evaluations. The report looks at 6 key variables to help explain life evaluation: GDP, the gross domestic product per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom, generosity, and the perceptions of corruption. Finland is, of all those countries, is the happiest country on earth. Now, as Americans that are sliding further and further into anguish, anxiety, depression, and despair, especially young people, might be asking yourselves, what exactly is Finland doing that the United States of America is not doing? Well, Finland, the happiest country on the planet, bans for-profit schools. They don't have private schools. They don't allow rich people to take their kids and put them in other schools separate from everybody else where they'll get a decent education while everybody else doesn't. Finland also taxes their billionaires. Taxes the hell out of them. They have billionaires. So the idea that if you tax billionaires, they'll all just magically leave. Well, they ain't all left Finland. And we used to have taxes on billionaires, and all of our billionaires didn't leave. The Getty family didn't leave. The Waltons didn't leave when we used to tax. And guess what? We just talked about Finland not too long ago. Finland actually cured homelessness. Who wants to guess how Finland helped to drastically cut homelessness in their country? Who wants to guess? Let's do this again. They give homeless people homes. No preconditions. They give homeless people homes. That's how they help to end homelessness in their country. They give homeless people homes. It is that simple. Now, America has millions of empty homes, and we have hundreds of thousands, I guess probably millions of homeless people. And yet somehow we can't in our system figure out a way to put homeless people and the empty homes together. We would rather just keep putting homeless people in prison when they hurt somebody or themselves and spend even more money keeping them incarcerated. Finland has the best school system in the world. It has been ranked as the best school system in the world. What do? Well, first of all, elementary school does not start until age 7 in Finland. They ban private schools, as I said earlier. Again, rich people can't just all stick their kids in a good school while all the other schools are failing. Rich kids and poor kids and working class kids all have to go to school together. They don't have standardized tests. The schedule is from 9 a.m., not 8 a.m., not 7:30 a.m., 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So they're really only in school for 5 hours. They rarely have homework. Their teachers are less worked. And they pay teachers the same thing that they pay doctors. It's funny, when you invest in your children, you invest in the people who are basically, whose job it is to create and teach the next generation. Teachers, the most important occupation in society, because every other occupation in society is predicated on people having gone to school first and had teachers first. It's funny, when you actually pay those people like they are valued in society, magically you get better students, you get better children, you get happier people, you get less stressed people. They also have generous parental leave. They get 14 months of required, mandatory maternity leave. If you give birth in Finland and you're a woman, you will get 14 months of maternity leave. They don't have high levels of income inequality like the United States or Brazil, countries with high levels of income inequality. Therefore, we have high levels of violent crime in comparison to most countries. They have a lower obesity rate than the United States, based on not filling their kids with red number 40 and yellow number 9 and cows full of steroids and hormones and all kinds of, who in the hell knows what we're putting in cows and pigs now. It's like investing in your population actually pays off in lower crime, in happier people, in less stressed people, in better schools. Now, obviously, the United States is seeing this and our government is doing its best to end that by trying to, first of all, we basically pushed NATO into joining, we pushed Finland into joining NATO, which they hadn't. Now Finland is going to have to use more of their money in the upcoming future and put it towards the military and their military industrial complex and military spending. Also, European Union taxes. There will also be skyrocketing energy costs, which comes from this criminal war that we picked with Russia in 2022, when we announced our desire to arm Ukraine, which we knew was a red line for Russia because we want to break Russia up. Also, when it comes to paying taxes, their government actually tells them, their government actually does their taxes for them. They don't have to take their tax return to some sort of tax accountant or something. The government lets you know what you owe. All you do is sign, and you're done. And so you would think, oh man, our government is tyrannical, and their government's tyrannical, and their government is won't even let them see what they pay. 80% of Finns are happy to pay their taxes. 80%. 96% believe that paying taxes is an important civic duty, and 98% believe taxes are important for maintaining Finland's welfare state, Notice I said the term welfare. I said the term welfare because they have that, welfare. They pay taxes. They're happy to pay their taxes. Their government prepares their taxes for them so that they can have welfare. But instead of welfare going to rich corporate schmucks, like in this country, it goes to the poor. It goes to working class people. It goes to keeping people from being poor. It goes so that women can have maternity leave for 14 months. It goes to some of the best public schools in the world. So who filled out the rest of the top 10 happiest countries in the world? Number 2 was Denmark. Again, another country. Social safety net, robust welfare system. At McDonald's, their McDonald's employees make $23 an hour. And in spite of that fact, the Big Mac only costs a few more cents than it does here in this country. Because the corporation doesn't keep all the profit. It actually pays its workers. Who'd have thunk? Number 3 is Iceland, which scores high in generosity and freedom. Sweden is number 4. Also, another strong welfare state. Notice I said welfare again because they invest in their people. Netherlands is 5, leads in generosity. Costa Rica, the highest rated Latin American country. Costa Rica, boosted by strong social networks and optimism. Norway, another country with a welfare state. Universal health care, low crime, and a work-life balance. Israel, which ironically we send billions of dollars to Israel so that they can have universal health care and so that they can have welfare and that they can have all the things that we don't have in this country if you're working class. Luxembourg, another country with a high GDP. And Mexico is number 10. Mexico. Strangely enough, Mexico is a lot happier than us in America. One of the most violent countries in the world. But guess what? They have universal health care in Mexico. All 10 countries have universal health care. All 10 countries have universal health care. And all the Nordic countries that dominate have strong welfare states, social safety nets, trust in their government, low corruption. This is the world we could have if we wanted it, folks. But you would rather keep voting for corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans. This is a world that is possible. This is the world that Franklin Roosevelt was putting us towards. This is the track he was putting us toward before he passed away. Read Roosevelt's new Bill of Rights for workers, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Off my soapbox, folks. We got to get up on out of here. Before I get up on out of here, I got to give a big, giant rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael. Oh my God, from the 85 Bears. One of the 4 horsemen in the WCW as well. I loved Mongo. One of the best friends of Walter Payton. Him and Walter are up in heaven, scoring touchdowns and terrorizing quarterbacks. So rest in peace to him. And for the rest of you, you can chop it up with me on Twitter at The Chemist Lives. The Chemist is spelled with a K, as I am a product of the Gary Community School System.